Hello everybody, welcome to GoTarryn TV today. I'm Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, and today we have Mr. Brian Gilbert who's going to be joining me momentarily, and I'm going to be behind the camera as he's going to be in front, and he's going to be talking to each and every one of you because we've got some things going on with Mr. Brian Gilbert. For those of you who know him, you know that he's suffering an Achilles injury, and for those of you who don't, this will be very interesting. I think that you'll find this video blog enlightening, especially if you yourself or know someone who's been injured or just laid up and can't move and just is frustrated because they can't keep their workouts up. Brian Gilbert's going to help you get through that because he is going through that injury here momentarily. Next week, in fact, he's going to be going under surgery. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to follow up the video blog again with some exercise demonstrations right here on GoTarryn TV. And again, you don't want to miss that. So when we return, we're going to be having Mr. Brian Gilbert in front of the camera, and I'm going to be behind it. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, Tarryn the Traveling Trainer is here with Brian Gilbert, personal trainer at the Family Life Center, Second Ponce de Leon Baptist Church. You've probably seen Brian before on previous GoTarryn video blog episodes, and he's here today because we're here to share some information and insight on something that Brian's going through and will be going through with recovery and surgery. So this is really important and vital and key for a lot of people to understand, and they can hopefully learn something today and relate to Brian. So Brian, first of all, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Taryn.
My pleasure. Well, you know, we've been really good colleagues and fitness professional, teaming up with each other. You know, really learned a lot from you here at Family Life Center. I've even picked up and teamed up with you with such clients as Pam, you know, and In-Home. And so I just wanted to, first of all, you know, just see how you're doing. And if you could please introduce yourself to the folks out there if this is the very first time that they're meeting you today.
Well, I'm Brian Gilbert. As Taryn said earlier, I'm a trainer here at the Second Ponce Family Life Center. Can be reached at 678-927-0606. Been here for about 3 years. Currently, though, however, I just experienced an Achilles injury. I have to go in and have some surgery on it next week. It's going to be down for a couple of months, but I'm not going to let that just put my health and fitness routine to a complete stop, but it's certainly going to alter it. And hopefully I can share some of those with you guys today, and we can continue to move forward if nothing else, not fall back, and then once this is over, get back on the right track.
Brian, let me ask you this. Let's tell the folks out there what exactly is the injury. You mentioned Achilles injury, and how did it happen as well?
Got too old, still playing basketball. So was just playing basketball one day, just typical layup, landed like I would always land, have always landed my whole life. Heard a big pop. Try to let it heal on its own. There was a possibility that it would heal on its own. While it did heal, didn't quite heal back tight enough in the Achilles area, so there's too much slack in the line, as my doctor would say. So I have to go in and cut it, retighten it, and then reattach it. And then hopefully it'll come back taut and I'll be jumping through the roof again. But
that's good, Brian. And at first, when it first happened, I remember you were coming in and walking on a boot. And so when it first initially happened, what did the doctors say? Were they hopeful and thinking that the boot would go ahead and recover?
Well, it was a partial tear, so it wasn't a full-on, clean tear or break. So they're hoping that the body would scar enough to fill in the place where the tear was. And with that, hopefully it was, tight enough, everything remained tight enough back there that you could have that tautness to run and jump and explode. So they did put me in a boot to prevent any type of pushing off, to prevent any type of use back there. I was in that for about a month and a half, and while I did get better while in the boot, even got better once I took the boot off, it just never was able to get tight enough to, I can walk, go up and down steps and not, function okay, but the more athletic endeavors that I enjoy doing, running, jumping, seated toe raises, those were out of the question, and still can't really do anything on that side. It's more like a dead duck foot is what I call it.
Okay, and have you ever suffered an injury like this before?
Never. Matter of fact, years of playing sports, funny, I finally get injured playing basketball. I never got injured playing football. I never got injured playing any sport. Only injury I ever had was a head-on collision when I was like 20 years old. I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks on that one, but obviously a head-on collision doing 70. So this is my first true sports injury, and I don't know.
Wow, that's amazing. And how has this impacted you? I mean, the reason why I'm asking this question, every time I see you, you're always smiling, very upbeat, very enthusiastic. It doesn't seem like it's like slowed you a step down, because every time I've seen you, you just seem like you're in really good spirits.
Right. I'm still very functional. I mean, obviously, I think if I've been in a wheelchair or been mobile, maybe that would have been different. But still, I'm able to get to point A to point B without, too much more trouble. I mean, I can tell it's a lot different, hobbling a little bit. But as long as I was able still to be mobile, get around, play with my kids, going up and down steps, still don't have to take the elevator. I can walk to the store from the house. So I'm not that limited. I mean, different, yes, but I'm not that limited. So it hadn't really changed my life so much. Still working my second job. So it's not that much different. Only when I come doing those athletic feats, run, jump, anything of that nature, bounding, is where I start to notice. But up until those movements, it's, functional.
Good. Well, again, I'm glad that you're really taking this in stride and just you haven't let this slow you down one step at all, and I'm just very impressed with that. So speaking of which, I wanted to ask you, it leads me into just saying, for exercising for yourself, and you go through an injury like this, and this happens, some people might just give up and say, well, I could use a 2-month vacation, time to just sit down, lie down, and just let myself go. I know I don't even have to ask you, I know that's not going to happen in your case. So can you tell everybody out there, as being in really good fitness shape already, how one maintains your shape and to be able to continue forward with this injury happening, and then we'll maybe lead into some of the exercises that you plan on doing.
Well, first and foremost, as we always say, Tarryn, it always starts with nutrition. So certainly, more than anything else, obviously I won't be able to do as much cardio work, whether that's walking, elliptical, rowing, so I won't be able to do that. So having said that, really going to try to tighten up the diet first and foremost. I know it's kind of hard going into football season with as many beer and, bar food that gets thrown around, but really tighten up the nutrition is job number one in trying to maintain during an injury. And number two is to really try to utilize what you have at home. Obviously, not going to be able to drive. It's the right leg that's going under. So really utilizing what's around the house for exercise, and that's what I hope to show today. Using things that you would just see in any everyday living room. And, I guess the main thing is just not losing focus. Do what you can. Don't worry about what you can't do. And just do that, and you'll be okay.
Perfect, Brian. I'll tell you what, let's take a look at some of those exercises right now.
Okay. All right, one of the first exercises I want to show you, obviously there's going to be a lot of physical therapy going on this side, but you don't want to neglect the other side. So I want to try to do something with single leg work. One of the most basic single leg movements you can do at home is a single leg squat. The only thing you need is a chair, table, whatever. Just going to grab a seat, kick that other leg out in what they call pistol position. Sometimes you hear this called a pistol squat. You're going to push through that heel that's on the floor as hard as you can. Squeeze it up without using your hands, like so. Back down, like so. Back down, like so. So just a single leg squat. Really great stuff if you want to really isolate each leg. Something you can do at home. You don't have to have a bar. You don't have to do a back squat with it. You don't have to do a deadlift. It's a single leg squat. 15 to 20 of those on each side. I guarantee we'll have you cooking. All right, another exercise I want to show you at home if you happen to be on the mend and can't get out the house. Also another lower body movement is a wall squat, and you can also do a variation of it. You can progress this movement into a single leg wall squat to really increase the intensity. Obviously I'm having Achilles surgery on this side, so I won't be doing any single leg on that side, but you're just going to take it back up against the wall flat, drop your thighs until they're right above parallel to the floor, and you can just bring one leg up, putting all that tension on that one side, and hold it anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. You'll feel that quadricep warm up on you, and that really gets your attention. Great moves you can do at home. All right, I want to utilize some upper body movements as well. Show you some lower body movements. Let's move into the upper body, some stuff that you can use with just plain living room furniture. Next thing I'm gonna go to is a variation of push-ups. Obviously we can do this push-up off the floor, traditional style, back flat, chest out, head up, lower it like that. You can also regress this movement and take it and elevate the upper body. Maybe just throw it up on the couch like so. Not quite as tough as the ground, but still offers me a pretty good challenge, like that. Or you can go with a lower surface if you need to, a little bit lower than that couch you just did. So I'm getting tougher and tougher as I get close to the ground. Just taking it like so, back up and down. Or if you don't have any furniture that you can push up off of, you can always take it to the floor and come up on your knees, do a gender neutral push up, like so. Try not to cross your legs. And again, lower chest to deck, and just squeeze that back out like so. All right, next move I want to show you guys is just a basic dip. Some people call it a chair dip, some people call it a bench dip. I guess if you're sitting on a bench. But just like you would on a bench, just take your favorite chair at home, place your palms in it like so, scoot out. Now, a mistake some people make is they get too far out here, shoulder gets to feeling a little achy, breaky. You want to try to keep that body as close as you can to that chair, almost like you're scratching your back on a chair. Lower it, scratch your lower back on that chair like that, back up. Now, you can bend your knees to kind of help out your upper body if you're getting kind of fatigued. It makes it a little bit easier, it regresses the movement. Or if you want to progress the movement, make it tougher, straighten those knees out like so, makes it tougher, and you can also add weight to your lap to add even more progression to that movement. All right, guys, next move I want to show you is something for the core. Try and incorporate your living room furniture into this routine as much as possible. What I'm going to do for this core is going to be, we're going to progress a plank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate my feet on the chair behind me, still assume a plank position on my elbows like so, keeping that back still nice and flat, abs pulled in tight. And you'll hold this from anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, just long enough for it to get your attention. Great move, and you can put your feet up. The higher you put your feet up, obviously the tougher the move gets. Just be very careful to keep that back as flat as you can for me. All right, guys, next move I want to show you is another ab move. It's called a jackknife. We're essentially working the upper section of the abs along with the lower. We're going to pull your legs in as your upper body comes in to meet it. Everything meets in the middle with a hard squeeze. So you're just going to take it. Maybe you're watching TV, scoot out to the end of that couch during a commercial break, kick those feet out, and bring it in. Notice upper body meets lower body with a hard squeeze in the middle. Upper body meets lower body with a hard squeeze in the middle. You want to give me 15 to 20 of those, 3 or 4 sets, should have your middle burning by then.
Brian, those were phenomenal. Thank you so much for taking us through those exercises. That was a good workout there. It's so great that you're really high spirits, like I said, and that you're gonna just beat this and overcome it through just grace and everything. So let me first of all ask you, Brian, when exactly is the date scheduled for, and where will it be at?
It's August the 8th at 11:30, and it's at the Kaiser Permanente Radiology and Surgical Center over on Glen Lake, right next to the Northside Hospital.
Okay, perfect. So anybody out there, send your positive vibes and prayers and thoughts to Brian. His way, he's going to need as much, good spiritual help as possible. And so we'll be all praying for you, keeping you in our thoughts, holding you up in our thoughts and prayers. Let me ask you this, Brian. So one more time, you've said it before, but why don't we give your phone number out, so if anybody wants to text you good luck or best wishes, how can they do so again?
I can be reached, just hit me up on my phone number, 678-927-0606. Give me a call, give me a text, just reach out to me where you can. I would definitely appreciate that.
Definitely, and again, I'll second that. Anybody out there, I'm challenging you, send this guy a text, give him a call, tell him you saw him here on the video blog, and that you appreciate everything that he's doing and understand what he's going through, and wish him best of luck. So Brian, again, we're going to definitely be keeping in touch with you. So for everybody out there, we're going to be, as we progress, just checking in on Brian, just seeing how he's doing. And then when can we expect to see you 100% recovered and back at it and back in the gym and fully?
Well, I was given 3 to 6 months. They may have to pull a tendon from another part of my body, the big toe, to splice with it to make it tight enough. If that's the case, I'm looking at more than a 6-month recovery. If it's just a basic go in, cut, tighten, reattach, I'm looking at closer to a 3-month recovery. But I was told they won't know that until they get to the operating room table, so 3 to 6 months is all I know right now.
Okay, perfect. And let me ask you this. I know the surgery is going to be at the Kaiser Permanente there at Glen Lake. Is that where you're going to stay at for your recovery as well?
Stay?
Yeah. Are you being transferred anywhere for rehab?
No,
or
it's outpatient.
It's outpatient. Okay, gotcha.
Transferred to the house for recovery.
Perfect.
Is where I'm going.
That's the best place to get your rehab and recovery,
well,
for sure.
As long as the kids aren't there, they're back in school, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's amazing. I did not realize how quick of a turnaround that was. That's incredible. That's wonderful. Excellent. Well, again, Brian, we're going to be with you, everyone in spirit, and so definitely stay strong. And I commend you for having such a positive attitude for going through this. And again, thank you, Brian. I want to just also say this while you're on camera for the record, that Brian has really helped myself out. He's transferred some of the clients part-time, temporarily for me to step in and help him out. And I've told him this, too, off the record before recording and now on the record, that if the shoe is reversed, any of my clients watching, this is the guy that I'd send you to. If GoTarryn or Tarryn the Traveling Trainer is out of commission, this is the #1 guy right here that I would happily recommend everyone to. He is the man. So, Brian, thank you so much, as always. You're always a true, again, friend to be here on GoTarryn TV.
As are you, Tarryn.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, best of luck. We're going to be there with you, and just keep trucking forward. So, for myself, for Brian Gilbert, this was another great episode. Thank you so much for those exercises, Brian. And again, best wishes and best of luck.
All right, thanks. Take care, y'all.
All right, everybody, there you have it. Mr. Brian Gilbert doing that thing that he does so well, better than anybody else, and that is demonstrating the exercises. He is a true fitness professional. He's a very smart, intelligent man, and I can't think of a better personal trainer and fitness professional and colleague to have right here on GoTarryn TV, telling you how to exercise and work out if you're injured or if you know anybody who's hurt. He's not going to let it stop him or slow him down. I like what Brian says also, that slow motion is better than no motion. He exemplifies it. He leads by example. He lives it every day. And I thank him very much for being on here. Brian, you are awesome. You are the man, and you're going to get through this just fine. So we're going to all definitely, our team GoTarryn, the world of GoTarryn is going to be with you in spirit as you're going through this right here, right now. So good luck, best wishes. We're going to be here for you. And again, Brian Gilbert, if anybody wants to learn more about that gentleman, I encourage him to go back to my website, GoTarryn.tv, and look at the archives. Look at the times he's been on GoTarryn TV before. He's been on a lot of them. Episodes 321, 340, 361, 401, and 423. He's been on a lot of them, folks. So definitely, like I said, you want to make sure that you check him out today. Go back in the archives and look at the other video blogs that he was on here, and another one right here on GoTarryn TV. So again, we're going to wish him the best of luck. And that'll do it for today's video blog. I want to thank everybody out there. Please make sure to also continue following yours truly by doing the following things. Like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, and follow GoTarryn on Twitter. And that way you'll stay connected with Tarryn the Traveling Trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training, who tells each and every one of you that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We'll see you on the next video blog, everybody. Bye-bye.